Hey, Chad here. I'm with Jeff, Paint the Trail. We're at his place and we're doing a little interview with him, so check it out. Yeah, Coco, don't play around there, okay? It more or less like
The first time I'd ever ran across this guy, he just zipped past, and all he did was yelled, "I'd rather look at trees than my art," obviously. And right in the middle about me talking.
Paintings, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
that's
about 2 weeks later, and then I didn't say anything when the guy was there. I was just like, I just laughed. I was like, and that was the first time anybody ever said anything negative, And I thought he's obviously for the news people or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like a couple weeks later, I'm out there and he rides by, and of course he doesn't say anything until he's right on me, and then he yells, "I'd rather look at trees." And of course I was like, "F that," like, "Come on back," because I was gonna have a little talking with that guy.
Yeah.
And then he did it to me one other time, and I said, "That's it. I'm painting the guy," and I painted him. And I
have you seen him around that?
Never seen him since I painted it.
Yeah.
When I screamed Wiener Bandit, I played it in slow motion. He was like,
that is funny.
Yeah, and I ran up to him and I was like, "You dropped penises on my chalkboard?" I had my phone right here.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, man." And I was like, he was just a Mexican guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What's your name?" And he was like, "Renee." I was like, "Your name is Renee?"
You have all this on tape.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. And then, so I was like, why are you drawing stuff on? He was trying to say he didn't do it. And I was like, "Is that you?" And then he was like, "Yes." "Did you draw wheels on the chalkboard?" He's like, "No." So my caption on that little part was, "Who's on first? What's the first?"
Yeah.
Because he kept saying it was him, but he didn't. And then in the end he was like, "Well, this guy was like 40 years old.
Yeah.
By himself, on a girl's bicycle.
His name.
Not every rotation that made it went click, just like click." Yeah. Anyway, he's got the guy had a laundry. I mean, he had mugshots. Somebody sent me a picture of him, a private investigator.
Yeah.
Sent me a picture of him with his mugshot and all these other mugshots around him, and they said that was just Seminole County. Everything from drugs to assaulting a police officer to.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody sent me like, "The suspense is killing me." Guy that was driving a truck down the trail, and it was an Orange County guy.
Yeah.
And he stopped. And he goes, "You're the guy that does it?" Because I was installing some paintings, and he asked me if I was the guy. Obviously, I was putting up some paintings, and I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, he goes, "I remember when you first did the one out in front." He goes, "It was the Joker was out there and all this stuff," and he goes, "I had paperwork on here to come out and paint over that." Because that's what he does. He was just coming from that underpass, that bicycle underpass, at 434.
Yeah.
And he had to take some tar over some graffiti or something. But he got the paperwork and he drove out there and he said he looked at it and he was like, he called his boss on the phone and he said, "Have you seen this art?" He goes, and this is the guy who's supposed to paint over this stuff. He goes, "There's no way I'm painting over this." Is what he told his boss.
Yeah.
And he took pictures of it, showed his boss, and his boss was like, "That's cool." So they left it.
So it could have been painted over.
It could have, and I could have got in trouble.
Yeah.
But another thing that happened too was they let me go maybe a little too far or a little too long.
Yeah.
And I think it was 10 months into it, I opened up a Facebook page and stuff like that. Was taking requests from people.
Yep.
So I developed like a little fan base and stuff after like maybe a year and a half. So I think at that point it was just too late for them to say anything to me at that point, I think.
Yeah.
Seminole County gave me Artist of the Year for 2013.
Awesome. Yeah.
But I thought, once I had enough stuff out there that, hey, this could be a place where, because people are digging it. This could be a place where artists could put their art up on display, just leave it there. And, I'm thinking, damn, the longest mural in the world is 3 miles. I said, I already got almost a mile out there, like 7/10 of a mile.
Yeah.
And I'm just farting around after 3 years and,
That's how long it is right now?
Dude, the longest mural in the world, can't think of the name that they call it, but it's 3 miles long. They've been working on it for 50 years and used thousands of artists. 3 years later, I'm almost a third of the way to catching them. So I know, if I could connect them all, I don't know.
That might be a tough. Is it like a Guinness record?
Yeah, maybe because they don't connect through the street or something.
Is it possible to put a temporary for the record just to connect them somehow, just for Guinness?
Oh, I don't know.
Put some kind of connector.
Just lay panels down or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's a bridge I'll pass when I get there, man. I'm sure there'll be some stupid stipulation that.
So no time frame. Just
I care less.
Doing what you do, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I spend maybe 20% of my time doing the trail stuff out there.
Yeah.
I just spend most of my time goofing off.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was like, Alfred Hitchcock.
I know what Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, and then while she was asking me, some other guy pulled up and then asked me if I'd paint Jack Lemmon.
Yeah.
And I was like, I better write these down. And when I left, I had 3 requests. So, you know, for a guy who was slow with work and stuff like that, I wasn't getting paid, but hey, I had something to do. You know, and that's kind of how it started. And when I opened up the Facebook page and people give me requests. So there's if you look at, like, there's no method to the madness. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah.
It could be anybody.
Yeah.
All in a row. The stuff I do is all pop culture stuff. Yep. Some of the other artists that have done stuff, it's just doesn't matter, man. It's just a mismatch of a lot of the paintings out there are done on recycled.
It is, okay.
Some of the paintings cost me nothing. I would hit these fence companies and say they'd have a big pile that they pulled off of a customer and replaced their fence, and they're going to take it to the dump. And a couple of these places, they'll just give it to me, and I'll have to come home, tear them apart, and then reassemble them. This way you can cut off the bad stuff, fix it, and but it's time consuming. So a lot of them out there are 100% recycled, which right down from the wood all the way to the paint and everything. Because he actually came up on me, made a fist, cocked back like this, and right as he was doing that, I was getting ready to duck. I was gonna grab him by the waist and chuck him over the back down the hill. That would have killed him. But right as he clenched his fist and started to raise his hand at me, my buddy Tom goes, "Jeff!" And he's got this deep voice, and that old man stopped dead in his tracks, looked down there, and then he goes, "Jeff, why don't you get in your car? You don't need any trouble or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, I'd already had my phone out. I was videotaping it." And next thing you know, those two are yelling at each other. So I got in my truck, and he was going on about who told you to do this? Who said it was okay? And, you know, he's like, "I think it looks like shit. I can't believe, you know, blah, blah, blah." And so I videotaped. I got like 3 clips. I couldn't put it on Facebook. It was too bad. Because I was sort of like, at that point, I think I was sort of almost like instigating the guy on a little bit. But I put 3 clips on Instagram and never did put it on Facebook. But that's really the only guy that's ever said he hated it or whatever. But everybody else seems to like it. The suspense is killing me. What I did was all art drop. And I'll drop a painting off somewhere within a 5-mile radius of the trail. And all I'll do is post a Google Map screenshot.
Okay.
And in the beginning, it was just one little screenshot, and you had to figure out right where the blue dot was, you know, is where I was sitting when I dropped it off. Yeah. First one to find it can have it. Yeah. And then, like, I let it spiral out of control. I think this past art drop was horror movie characters because of Halloween. Yeah. I got like 16 paintings. Yeah. I painted everybody from Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. I painted all these guys. But I would only allow myself 20 minutes to paint it because we're giving these away, so I'm not going to spend all day on it. And then before that, I did superheroes. I think I had passed out like 15 or paintings. This time, because it's November, it's Veterans Day. I'm doing some like war movie stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you served at all, or you just.
I haven't.
Okay.
But I have a lot of respect for people that have.
Gotcha.
You know, that's just. I just feel like, you know, hey, I was either too lazy or too scared or too whatever the hell than too. Yeah. You know, I wouldn't be one of the. Military would have probably done me a lot of good.
More known for that.
Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was on Jerry Springer.
Were you
too.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would come up.
You were not there.
I wasn't sure that would come up.
Usually, what do they have you on there for?
I was acting gay to pick up women.
What? Are you had nothing to do with.
Nothing to do with bikes. Nothing to do with anything.
How did that come about, man?
It's just our personalities. We just do whatever we wanted, and next thing you know.
Called the show every day for
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I'll have to definitely check that out. Yeah, you got a lot.
Brought the kids to do that intro clip, you know, on the chalkboard, just standing there.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were just blown away. And then the other day, I brought my son over there on our bikes, and he's like looking through the peephole and seeing the dinosaur, and he's like just freaking out, and he's like, what is this? The question just started happening, but it was awesome.
It's almost like turned into like a Willy Wonka sort of weirdo type of whatever. Some people have done some stuff where people are like, almost like, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Because I always joke that I bet you I could build a pirate ship out here, like a full-size pirate ship out of fence pickets, and nobody would even stop.
Get away with everything now.
You know, I put the Dukes of Hazzard card, jumping up over the Dukes of Hazzard people. I'm like, I was making the video, I was just laughing. Like, you believe people are letting me put this stuff up? It's ridiculous. I got the muscle guy out there now, and then the what is American Gothic, where you can be in the painting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, then the dinosaur thing, and I remember telling somebody, I've been protesting the way the FWC is treating the bear calls, man, for 2 years. I was the first one to complain. And all the way, man, I even had I bought a bear suit. Got the bear head in there and everything. I ran around in the middle of the daytime, running down the trail, acting like an idiot, you know, just hugging people. People, when you're in a bear suit, people want to hug you. It's funny. And then running around, some guy from Facebook, I said, hey, I need somebody to film me, man. I got this bear suit. This guy was like, I'll do it. And I was like, cool. Meet me at Starbucks over here at 8 o'clock, and he met me over there, and I had a screw gun, and all you can have these little pinholes that you can see out of this thing, and I'm, it's busy out, and I got this bear suit on, and it was hot, man, and I had my drill and this little itty bitty painting, and my whole goal was to run down the sidewalk in front of all these cars at this busy intersection of Wekiva and 434, and screw this bear painting to this wooden telephone pole thing, and for like 30 seconds I could not figure out why it wouldn't go in, and I realized I pulled my head up, and it was a concrete one. I was at the wrong one. And the painting was flipped around the wrong way. I couldn't see anything. I put it back down and ran over, screwed it into the wooden pole, and it was upside down. I was like, turn it around, put it back in, took off. And I did that like multiple times, all up and down 434. And this guy was filming me. And I'm jumping out of dumpsters in it and stuff, and just being an idiot. Just bringing like awareness to the whole stupidity of the. We just put this on. People want to give you a hug. Maybe not. But I swear to God, dude, you can't see nothing out of this.
What is that?
You're trying to screw up panels with that?
Yeah, I was like this, like. See, you can't even see my hands. You can only see these little pinholes, so I can only see like this. I can only see this much out here, so you really can't see nothing. What's that?
No, I appreciate your time.
Hey, you bet. Not a problem. Hey!